Yo, Dad. Dad. I made a decision, man. So, I've been working with this anamorphic lens for the past couple of weeks. Like every day. I mean, I've taken it out into like every possible circumstance, every scenario, every kind of lighting, every focal length. I've been trying to figure out how to use it, how to get it on my timeline, how to get the aspect ratio correct, like all this stuff that you don't even know about. Or maybe you do, I don't know. Well, I don't know, maybe you do. You know, you were a photographer, right? And when you were alive, I didn't care. Because I didn't really care about anything that you did. But, you know, I've been using your lenses. And, you know, I mean, at the time, I didn't give a shit about photography or videography. What, I was just playing football. That was it. Playing music. So, anyway, I'm getting ready to shoot this film, as you know. And I've been, you know, I've been made aware of this anamorphic thing only because I found out that all these movies that I love so much were shot in anamorphic format. Roma, Moonlight, a bunch of other ones, like great films that I love. I think Coda was shot anamorphic, I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive about that one, but I think so. And so I got an anamorphic lens because I found a great deal on one used, and I got it. And, you know, I've tried everything in my power to, like, learn how to use it, to feel as comfortable with it as I do with these spherical lenses. And you know what spherical means, right? But, you know, I've become really comfortable. Like I always talk about, you know, I make these videos and I talk about how I think the camera should become a part of your body, you know, like should become a real extension of you. Just like a musical instrument, you know, just like anything, you know, like you learn as much as you can, you learn all the fundamentals, you know, respect the craft, and then you throw it all away. And then you just let your creativity go. And so anyway, I like the way this anamorphic looks, right? Like, I love the way it feels. I love the way it like focuses. It's really sharp on the subject, but then it like falls off towards the edge of the frame, and it has like this dreamy kind of feeling to it. It's hard to explain, you know, because, you know, the problem is, I've been having this problem trying to figure out how to get the proper aspect ratio on my timeline, my editing software, and in a way that's been a gift, because I'm just like dropping it on a 4K timeline, I'm de-squeezing it, I'm getting the entire image, and it looks great, but it still just looks like a regular 4K image to me, just, I don't know, just different. And I can't even explain how it's different. It's not really wider. It's not anything different other than there's something about the image that is different. You know, obviously the bokeh is different. It's, you know, kind of oval instead of round. It's just different. And so then I started to learn about the proper aspect ratio, and I got into all the math and everything. And, you know, I went to this Anamorphic on a budget website, and, you know, and YouTube channel, and I learned a lot. So I got it right, but then all of a sudden everything looked like whatever I felt anamorphic was supposed to look like, and I noticed that it was cropped, like I was losing the top and the bottom of the image. And then I remember when I was on the set of doing Jamesy Boy, I'll never forget that they had this gigantic camera, and they literally put 2 pieces of paper on the monitor so that they cut off the bottom of the top. And I realize now what they were doing. They were cropping the image for delivery, for what it was going to look like at the end. And at the time, I had no idea what that was about, but now I understand. But I don't know, things I read say I'm supposed to be able to get the whole image, like it's just supposed to de-squeeze. And so the top goes like this, and you know what I mean? It goes kind of like, ugh. But I haven't figured it out yet. So I got to start shooting this film next week. Finally got some snow today. So I don't know, I hope it stays cold. I mean, I hope it's not crazy disruptive snow, but I hope it stays cold. And I hope there's just sprinkles of snow on the ground so I can have the setting that I want for this film and I can start shooting. And this film is about my biological father. And I don't know if you knew anything about my biological mother. I don't know if you were like withholding things from me or not. I'm not sure about that. And I'll never know. But you were my father. And you raised me. As much as I made it really difficult, and I was kind of a dick to you, you didn't really do anything to me. So you didn't really deserve that, but I did feel like you were withholding from me. So anyway, that's not why I'm talking to you. I mean, I'm talking to you because this movie that I'm making is about my biological father. And so it doesn't get past me that I might shoot. I was actually planning on shooting this film with your lenses. Kind of like you would be there, like I would have your support and guidance or something. That was the plan until I found this anamorphic mode and I bought this lens and I started shooting with it. And honestly, the reason I bought my new camera, the Panasonic S5, was because it has anamorphic support in camera. So I can monitor what I'm doing without having to have an external monitor. And I have an external monitor, but I don't like to carry it around, I'm like running and gunning. I'm in weird places. I want to keep my footprint as small as possible. And so I can do that with this anamorphic lens. But there's just, it was like my whole plan, like I was going to shoot this film about my biological father with my adoptive father's stuff, and it was like we were doing something together. We really didn't do much together. Although you did take me to games, sporting events and stuff like that, Grandpa working at Yankee Stadium and everything, so got to go to a lot of Yankee games, and we did go to some giant football games, and, you did take me to Madison Square Garden and some Knicks games and showed me all these cool restaurants, but, I didn't really treat you very well, even in those circumstances. So, oh, and I want to apologize for something. Remember when I was a little kid, like I don't know, I think I was like 6 or something like that. It was like I was playing organized football And I remember you showed up at the church. You know, we were practicing in the back of this church, St. Joseph's, and you showed up and I saw this camera hanging off your neck. And you know, there were other fathers out there, but that was the first time you had ever come to a practice of mine or anything. I mean, I hadn't been playing all that long, but you showed up. Remember, I ran off the field and you had this big smile on your face. I was running up to you and stuff, and you said, "Hey," and I said, "Don't take my picture." You just kind of like, I remember your body just went back, you know. And I was like, I don't want you to be like one of those fathers with a camera hanging around his neck, taking pictures of his son. Just sit there quiet and watch. I mean, I was like 6, you know, I don't know. But I know that that hurt you, and as I got older, I know it really hurt you, and actually, to be honest with you, it hurt me. Because, you see, I don't have any pictures of me from when I was a kid, playing football, basketball, baseball, running track, nothing. I have no pictures because I asked you not to do it, and you respected me. You don't want to embarrass me. And, you know, maybe you should have just said, "Fuck you." I mean, maybe you shouldn't have said that to me literally, but maybe you should have thought that and just gone ahead and take pictures. You know, like I think most fathers would have done that. You know, but you didn't do that. You respected me, and as a result, I have no documentation of that time. So I apologize for doing that. And yeah, I'm sure that must have been pretty painful. You know, this kid who you adopted. And I know that you questioned whether or not I loved you or not. So yeah, I know it was a hard time for you, trying to figure out what to do with this kid. Anyway, about this project and this lens and your lenses and this anamorphic lens, so I came here to tell you that, you know, I'm in love with this anamorphic lens. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels. You know, I want to serve the work and I want to do what's best for my story. You know, what feels best for this story. And so, I want you to know that I decided to use your lenses. Because the thing is, I mean, I'm not sure this is the case, but I think if I chose to go anamorphic, I would have to shoot everything in anamorphic mode. And so, I'm going to use your 50mm and your 28mm because, oddly, those are the two focal lengths that I like to use. So it's amazing that those are the only two lenses that you had. And so, yeah, you're coming with me. We'll do this together. Should be pretty cool. Maybe we'll both learn a lot. And honestly, I wish you were alive, because we could be having these conversations over dinner at like Manducati's or Peter Luger's or one of these restaurants on Arthur Avenue that used to take me to. Talked about it and been amazed at how after my whole journey of sports and music and everything, I wind up, you know, in the theater for all these years, and now I'm making movies and using cameras and obsessed with cameras and lenses, just like you were. I ain't gonna lie either, like, I might use the anamorphic lens in a certain couple of sequences where I can like make it seem kind of like a dream sequence, like in my other film, in Brooklyn Quartet, in this miniseries that I made, I actually used cell phone footage in the middle of this 16 by 9, you know, aspect ratio. All of a sudden it went from horizontal to vertical. But I did it purposely because I wanted people to know I was using a cell phone. And so I might, you know, I might use the anamorphic lens and, you know, get into our thing, you know, kind of push us aside for a scene or two to create like a dreamy, weird kind of sequence. But I'm shooting this movie with our lenses, yours, and I've made them mine now. So, yeah. And if anybody saw me doing this right now, they would think I am some kind of fucking crazy person, but we know I talk to you all the time, right? You and Mom, and Grandma, and Grandpa, and Gene Giles, and I talk to you guys all the time. Mickey. So let's make a great movie, all right? And I'll, I was going to say I'll keep you posted, but you'll be there. I'll keep them posted. We'll keep them posted, all right? And I did, if you were wondering, you know, love you. I do. And thank you for saving my life.